Hello, everybody. Welcome in. We're starting just a little bit early today so that we can, be ready for the raid train to come in. But we are going to be working on Mr. Shadowmilk here. Let me know if the music is too loud, too quiet, anything like that. I know saxophones can kind of pierce the ears. If you have not been here before, I will do my introduction more when people show up, but this is the dog camera. This is for Ash, my dog. He is currently sleeping under the table, and he will most likely be back relatively soon. We have finished. We worked on this guy yesterday, and luckily I was able to get this much done. I did sort of the base. He's got a little armature here in the center, and then a base of polyfill that is felted down so that it's a bit stiffer, and then merino wool on top of it. And he doesn't have his hair yet. He's still bald because it's so long that like it would be in the way. But today we have to finish. There's his like ruffles around the wrists and around his neck that doesn't exist, so putting a neck ruffle on a character with no neck is going to be interesting. We did get his little gem thing done, though. I have to make sure to not put it on upside down. I am ready. I am going to do my best. And we're also going to be working on his hair and his little staff. I gotta make sure that I am recording for my own purposes. Oh. After that, we are going to be, I believe I'm the second to last spot on the raid train. Let me pull up. I'm very afraid of forgetting the name of the person after me, so I'm just gonna have it up here. Blue-eyed cat. Okay. Right now, I should start working on this. Normally I have these pre-felt sheets, but I don't have one in the right color for this blue side of his hair, so I need to kind of make one. And this part's kind of like not terribly interesting to watch anyway, so if it's before most people show up, that is perfectly fine. You're not missing a whole lot. Make it sort of the approximate size that I think it's going to be, and then I'm going to make a pattern out of paper and see how well that fits. Might want to do eventually is get one of those bigger many needle ones for purposes like this.
Yay!
Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Big enough? Do we want it to be as big? We probably don't want it to actually be as big, but it's the hairline's probably going to be about here. Oh, thanks, Jade. It's just a little bit bigger. Hello, everybody! Hello, everyone.
Yay!
Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. This is part of the
Yay.
Crafting Rainbows raid train. I am WireMouse. I use they, them pronouns. I am a needle felt artist, and I make, sort of the things that I do, I make posable needle felted dolls. So here's one that I made recently of Susie from Deltarune. I also do like kind of
Yay.
clay props and stuff. I have Make an Ocelot from Metal Gear because, you know, we gotta represent the gays in this household. We have Vivi. How does that feel? Like it's really fun because it's sort of not a thing a whole lot of people do. But yeah, you can pose them. I have a store called StabbyNeedleStudios that Nightbot just linked to there. But yeah, you can pose them any way you want to, and they're handmade and very, very cute. These ones, minus the Susie doll, are for if you've possibly heard of me before. I run a shop called StabbyNeedleStudios, as I said, and I have donated a lot to Games Done Quick, which is a charity speedrunning marathon that happens twice a year. And so a lot of my my dolls will end up there. So the snake, Ocelot, BV, and this is Turgle from Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That is all for GQ. So today we are working on Mr. Shadowmilk Cookie. He's a character from Cookie Run Kingdom, and and that's like a really popular mobile game where the characters are all cookies. Yeah, he does have a big iron on his hip. I had to make 3 different revolvers that, you know, out of clay, to do that, for those guys. But yeah, Shadowmilk Cookie is sort of the very popular boy, from blah. He's sort of the very popular boy that's going on right now, and he has like a toxic yaoi relationship with Pure Vanilla Cookie, who's basically Cookie Jesus. So if I make a Pure Vanilla, which I do, it's one of my most popular items. We need his boyfriend as well, so that's what we're doing. Also, what we are doing, we are raising money for Glisten of Greater Cincinnati. The Twitch donation link, if you want to donate, is right sort of like where the subscribe button is. And I have a goal of $100, and if I don't reach it by the end of 2 hours, I will simply make up the difference. So Glisten will be getting, at the very least, $100. Let's just take a moment to watch a video of that. What Glisten does. They're an organization that's sort of around the country. It stands for Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network, I believe. And they have a lot of like resources for queer kids in schools, and help push laws and teacher training and lots of really important things, because it's very hard to be a kid who's queer in a school, and that's just sort of how it is, you know? Hang on one second. I am just going to get a window capture because I'm such a streamer. Such a good streamer. Yep, over there. Not right this second. Yep. Okay. That's good enough. Okay. Now, turn off the jazz real quick.
As a transgender kid in a relatively small town, most of it has been particularly negative, but there are some positive things. Some negative things are the bathrooms, definitely. I get harassed if I go in the girls' bathroom, and a lot of the girls' boyfriends, don't want me going in there, and I can't go in the boys because I'll get harassed in there, and the principal has a lot to say about that. Like, he doesn't want me going in there, so pretty much I just tough it out all day. I am the only out trans student in my school, so pretty much I just like meeting new people, and it's hard being transgender in a really small town. Glisten means to me the world. I love Glisten. I have been involved with it every way I can, even if that's, donating some of the little money I have. It Glisten has definitely helped me through everything, my transition, my coming to terms with who I am, because I know that there are people out there now who understand. Even if it is this big office all the way in New York City, I know that there are people out there that really care about me. So I love Glisten. Yeah.
Yeah, so if that appeals to you, if you have the income, then feel free to donate. If not, that is so perfectly okay. We're just happy to have you here. Get everything back up. Right. I'm sure that Mr. Ash will make an appearance relative. For now, let's actually hold off on the hair for right this second. Let's work on the ruffles. Ash is my dog. He is currently under the table. He will jump up onto this seat when he feels like it. Best way. I have been thinking about it. Here. Thinking for ruffles like this, I can just sort of do what you would do with sewing by sort of puckering it like this, but just felting it down. Yeah, that seems to be working all right. Sort of pulling it over a little bit at a time. We're going into uncharted territory, because I haven't done this before, but who's gonna make a felt ruffle if not me? Yeah, if you haven't been here before, I normally stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, it seems to be. You do exclamation point song. It'll take you to the sort of like long playlist that this is. Okay, a little too short. Okay. Make more. Right. Oh, and now we have Chrono Trigger. That's nice. Yeah, what was Benjamin doing on his stream? He's the one who is running this raid train, which is almost done, actually. The one after me, who is Blue-Eyed Cat, is last one. There will be other events happening this month as well. You're painting? Nice. You have art text to share if you want. If not, that's okay too. Also, thank you for coming in the raid train. If you guys need to de-stream, if you need to chill out for a while, that is very cool. Thank you for showing up. Okay. Okay, that actually looks kind of good. All right. Happy with that. But you see how ruffles go. Like, that was this whole big, long thing, and then it gets scrunched down to this size. I'm lurking while I clean my craft room, which is in dire need. Can we get some counter space back in here? Oopsie doopsies. Yeah. I'm like a very sort of fastidious person. And while I'm streaming, I can't like put everything back where it goes. And so the left side of my desk just becomes this absolutely horrendous pile of stuff. So, like, oh great. I always have to clean up directly afterwards. Yeah, I make felt dolls. You can get custom ones. I also have just like some, not pre-made. Most of them aren't pre-made, they're made to order, but orders for things on my store. So, it's worse than it looks, but it's been exactly that. Toss it to the side, to the, oh. Out of felt, yeah, felt is, it's interesting to work with. So, let's actually just take a little pause and talk about sort of how I do this, because needle felting is not a craft that a lot of people do. I'm sorry I'm jumping around a little bit. I've like not done a charity stream before, and I've been streaming for a month, and I don't necessarily know what I'm talking about. So, we are just doing our best out here. What I use is, this is merino wool. It looks worse than it is. I understood what you meant, but yeah. This is merino wool, which is a type of sheep. And it's very, very soft. It's wonderful to work with. And when it is like this, it has been like teased out. I use... Oh boy! Where'd it go? These are for carding the wool. They are technically actually dog brushes. And I actually do need to card some more of this color. Hi, Mr. Ash. Do you want to come up here, sir? Hello! Hello, this is my doggy. His name is Ash. He is a 7-year-old Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. And he's my son. No, sir. And he's here because he does not ever want to be away from me. So I just have, like, a chair and he sits here. Yes, very good. Very good boy. Thank you. All I'm seeing is Smurf and... Well, it's gonna get better. No, I know what you mean. So. Take the wool. Dog brushes. Hello, Ash! Yeah. That's what my neighbor says when he walks out on the balcony. She goes, hello, Ash! So you kind of just brush it out like this. And what doing this does, is it makes it like lie flatter. That's right, you have a Cav as well. He is my little baby and I love him dearly. It lies flatter if you do this. I will keep it in this sort of straightened out form for like hair and some of that. I don't have a Discord, unfortunately, but I do have a number of other commands. If you look below the stream, I have them all listed. Some of them are silly, some of them are informative. But yeah, we get this material is just like polyfill, like acrylic stuff that you would put in a plushie or something. But the sort of inside of this, let me grab. Inside of the doll looks like this. This is an unfinished large one of like my character. And this one has articulated fingers because I'm apparently very extra like that and can make a doll with articulated fingers if you want. So this is being saved for a rainy day, but this is what it looks like without the covering on it. And then I will cover it in various colors of wool. I put literally everything. This is called pre-felt. It just comes like this. It's very useful in sheets. And it's also from the place that I get most of my wool from. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. I get most of my wool from a place called Heidi Feathers, which is a British supplier because, for whatever reason, and the whatever reason is because they have sheep in England. It's amazing so far. Thank you. I just keep this. A lot of needle felters are British. They have sheep over there. It's not actually easy to get felting supplies from a craft store. Although I do get some of my stuff from an online store that is based in Michigan called Felted Sky. And you can find all of that information below stream as well. If you are interested in trying out needle felting, it's wonderful. It has a very low barrier to entry. It's not very expensive to start. And it's not very expensive to continue either. Like, a lot of the effort is, or a lot of the difficulty comes in the, hey, I know how to speak. A lot of the craft is in the making. It takes time. The materials aren't actually all that expensive. But yeah, if you guys know Cozy Witch, they are another needle felting streamer. Who was live earlier today and who was also, I believe, part of the raid train earlier. They use like acrylic wool because they're vegan. And I use, this is all like sustainably sourced, really nice quality merino sheep wool. And what's kind of interesting is that needle felting is a relatively new craft. It's only about 40-ish years old. Because if you think of felt like felt slippers and bags and hats and stuff, that's what's called wet felting, where you take wool and you sort of like agitate it with soap and water and then roll it a lot, and it's a whole big to-do about it. And then that felts it by agitating the fibers, and then they kind of combine like Velcro style. And that's been around since, ancient times. But needle felting only really came about when these specific kinds of needles were invented, and they have notches in them, so you can't see like super duper well, but if I want to be a beauty tuber about it, they have notches in them, and these ones are also like spirally, and that helps kind of like tease the fibers essentially so that they stick together like that. And so these needles were invented to be used in factories to make like wool batting for like blankets and stuff. And so somebody was like, what if we take those off of the big sheet, that has a whole bunch of them doing that, and we use a smaller version to make crafts with. So that's what needle felting is. My problem with felting was it felt like I never got anywhere. It's really deceptive how long you need to stab things to get it working. Yes, there are ways to make it easier. So, one thing that is a little bit difficult is like you can see this and be like, okay, well now how do I turn this into a ball? Am I just stabbing it over and over and then I'm gonna and then it's like eventually gonna get there? One thing that I learned is make it as small as you can before you even start. Like, okay, now you can start felting it, and now there's a lot less air in there, and you've done a lot of the work for yourself, and then it's much easier to work with. So that's something where people can get discouraged because it's like, why isn't this coming together the way I want? I feel like I'm stabbing and I'm not really like making the shape the way I want. If you sort of hold it and compress it just with your fingers or you can like wrap string around it if it's a bigger piece, that tends to help. But it still does take a while, I'm quite fast at it, and this took me about 3 hours yesterday. Yes, you can use an armature. I use armatures for pretty much everything. It's... I don't have like an example sitting out here, but I have like sped up process videos on my socials, and it'll show you sort of from beginning to end how I make it. And also, you can check out a stream if you want. But yeah, the only difficult thing about armatures is that you have to be careful not to hit them while you are felting. Oh, thank you. Yeah. YouTube is just where my stream VODs are. I believe you can do socials. Either look... There we go. Yeah, that's the link tree. That's got my VODs channel, which is as of now, that's just like the dumping ground for VODs. If you want like nicer sped up process videos, I have Instagram and TikTok and Blue Sky as well. Hi Sploot, welcome in. We are finishing up Mr. Shadowmilk. Milk. He's doing well. He's looking sassy as usual. I had to... Also, I'm sorry if the camera kind of slows down a bit. It's odd. I need to check on my sort of processing power and see what's the best way to do that. In fact, I am going to take a picture of Task Manager because I knew I said I was going to. Okay, cool. Now, to do this. Also need to make sure that keep this for reference because this is a good measure of like how big this is if I need to make this again. Which, considering that pure vanilla is one of my most popular things, I hope I get to make it again. Big should neck piece be a little bit wider. Yeah, the ruffles are working well. I was almost losing some sleep over are these gonna look okay? But gonna be too thick. Probably is. See how well this works out for me. I'm just gonna make this very like long and What is this song? It's definitely. Professor Layton. It's Professor Layton. Okay. I was like, it's not Ace Attorney. It's Professor Layton. But if I did this, then perhaps I can use the other side for another ruffle at a later date. Making actual ruffles when you're sewing is hard, by the way. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. And if you all are so inclined, we have a donate link to Glisten Greater Cincinnati, which is an educational organization that helps queer kids in schools. So if you want to get a heart in your name, like I do, that's how you get one. All right, let's play. Put a neck ruffle on a character with no neck. The thing I often struggle with, Cookie Run characters do this a lot, is that they can kind of cheat stuff in their art to work in 2D where it does not work in 3D. So for example, that neck ruffle, it's clearly not attached to anything on the actual art. It does not map directly onto his neck that doesn't exist. But I have to make it work, so sometimes we have to cheat a little bit. I'm also not sure if this is going to, like, look wide enough. We're kind of just experimenting here, and if it doesn't look right, I'll come up with something else, but... Hello, sir. To nothing. But yeah, like, for example, for Pure Vanilla, he's got a, like, sort of a cape thing, and his arm comes out of the cape in a way that does not work in 3 dimensions, so I had to... When I make him, I have to cut a slit into the cape so that his arm can just go through it. And there are a couple other things that are like, okay, I simply cannot cheat this to work in 2D. Hardest part of working around this area is the way I make armatures. A lot of wires kind of cross around the neck and shoulders, so breaking needle territory, which needles break, it's fine, but ideally you don't want to break them. They are in fact kind of brittle. They do that. Huh. Like, that was still only just about big enough. With ruffles, you really can just, like, use any length. Like, being too long is not really an issue. And scrunch up ruffles as much as you want. Just keep ruffling. He looks even more smug with the neck ruffle. Okay, let's try to, like, get that on there pretty good. Sometimes I felt things more loosely, but with this, I want to make sure it doesn't come off. It's relatively even all the way around. Then, here's this. I'm thinking that I'll probably glue this on here. I don't glue a lot of stuff, but this, it kind of like doesn't have anything to attach to. Do this, but I would crunch it down. Let's see if that holds all right without me scrunching it down too much. I mean, it's on there. Yeah, if I just sort of pretend I'm like tacking it down with sewing. Right, and then where do I go to for crafting inspirations? I mean, I'm really like a big nerd, and so I do a lot of like, oh, what kind of character do I want to work on? I also like to get commissions from people, and what I do for GDQ, Games Done Quick, when I donate stuff to that, is I'm like, oh, what games are they playing at the marathon? So for the ones that I showed you, they're playing Final Fantasy IX, that's where Vivi is from. They're playing Metal Gear Solid 3, that's where Snake and Ocelot, Otacon's a different character, are from, and they're also playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So I end up making a lot of stuff like that. And I follow a lot of felting artists. There's one named Carrie Bird, Karry Bird. She does a lot of stuff on YouTube. She's a very, very good felter. Like, there are a couple people. There actually aren't that many people in the needle felting community. So some of my sort of techniques and stuff that I use, I essentially made up. But there are a lot of good felting resources on YouTube. There's a channel called Felts by Philippa. She does a lot of like animals and things, but she has a lot of really good tutorials for how to get started, how to pick like wool and needles and things like that. Luckily, it's not terribly complicated. Like if you've watched Cozy Witch, they use sort of different types of needles for different purposes. I just use the same type of needles for everything. I have like a spiral, it's 30-something gauge, and it works perfectly fine for me. I just have this one for most things, and I have this one for details. So you'll just find whatever works for you. And I also always wear finger protectors. These are leather, and this is how I don't stab myself most of the time. People who don't wear them stress me out. Although I'm stressed out a lot of the time anyway, so, you know, these things, they happen. Alright. Let's add his little lapel thing. How big should they be? Very. I wanted to add them after I added the ruffle, because I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to lay. Like, luckily it does lay against his neck, and it doesn't look too small. I don't think so anyway. This about the right size? Yeah, that'll work. I make a lot of patterns and things, and I'll probably do that sort of after I'm this. But luckily he doesn't have a lot of like clothes per se that aren't skin tight. These sleeves were possibly going to be just the pre-felt with stuff on top of them with normal arms underneath, but actually these arms are just like solid all the way through. The base just has this bulging out part because of how much like detail there is on it. All right, let's add those little orders. Oh, hi! Hi, Tiefling Fan! What's up? Yes, this is, these are a bunch of, like, my online friends, so thank you so much for showing up, everybody. We are working on Shadow Milk Cookie, and we are raising money for, Glisten of Greater Cincinnati, which is a resource, that helps queer kids in schools. So if you feel so inclined, there is a donation link, right about where your subscribe button is. Ben's a dog now! Oh my goodness. I will check that out. I probably can't afford too many distractions today, just because the stream is only 2 hours long. And I want to. I don't know if I could finish. We'll see. Sometimes it's hard to know. A dog with butt physics. I mean, considering how much he likes Milky's little, like, dumpling dog character, whose name I forget, that makes sense. Or wagging. Butt physics for wagging. Yes. No, that tracks. Butterscotch! Yes. I remember I was hanging out in a Fen stream once, and he was just, like, sketching Butterscotch, and did, like, the like, melt tool or whatever, and just kind of, like, shoved the eyebrows down and was like, angry thoughts. I traveled through the woods, through the sheep that supply the wool, and found my way here. Thank you, Cammy. Alright. Gotta be careful when pulling this stuff up, because it goes through the other side. But yeah, Shadow Milk Cookie is definitely one that I had been wanting to make, because if I have pure vanilla, I need to have the you know, I can be your angel or your devil. I need the devil. Don't tell people about the butt. Come on. This is me. I am. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for donating. I am somewhat well known for putting very lovingly sculpted butts on my characters. You can't see it super duper well. Snake, you can see it a little bit better. He's got the hams. It's important. It's just, you know, it's very fun to sculpt the butt. Now spread the word. Sculpting butts is fun, actually. Yes. The greatest BTTV emote of all time, hams. Courtesy of Twitch streamer Rena Decoro. Put that in there. In the future, I could put this down ahead of time, but I wasn't sure if this was going to lay flat against the neck or not. Get in there, bud. I also feel like I picked up saying bud sarcastically through watching Ven's streams. And crafting community people. Tiefling Fen is a really fun variety streamer who does a lot of silly things, does a lot of Final Fantasy XIV and other stuff. He's a very cool guy. Follow him. And is also queer, as are pretty much everybody that I associate with on Twitch, which is good. Right. I sew the cake for everyone. This cake is rated E for everyone. Kind of give this a little bit of a trim. That's about right. Thank you, Dupes. Just want to make sure that kids in schools around Cincinnati are being taken care of, particularly because, you know, hey, how about that Department of Education being, like, torn apart? We're not gonna, like, bring up politics too much, but, you know, that certainly is affecting things. I really care about my city and want to make sure that everybody is doing okay. And most of this is sheep's wool. I do have some alpaca wool. And that's like a little bit harder to work with, but it is really soft. It's just kind of like more... I mean, what's the way to put it? It's sort of like working with Minky when you're sewing. It's like, this is so soft and so great, but oh boy. Like, Minky's really slippery and alpaca wool just like sticks out a lot. It's really hard to get it to sort of lay flat without a lot of little flyaways. And that's, you know, why you give it a little haircut. Thank you so much for the follow. Carefully pull it up. This is just a big sort of like wool block. If you start needle felting, you'll often use a styrofoam block, and that is perfectly fine too. It's just that it kind of tends to deform, so if you do a lot of needle felting, having one of these is nice. Also easier to kind of clean. There. Let's get to the other side. Yes, thank you everyone for stopping by. Thank you for the raids. I mean, I know the, you know, Binge Bear raid was planned and all, but thank you even so. After this, meaning in about an hour and 18 minutes, we will be raiding on over to our last stop on the Crafting Rainbows raid train, which is Blue-Eyed Cat 88. Blue-Eyed Cat. I am like terrified of forgetting who it is. So I'm like trying to memorize it. Who's another wonderful crafty streamer in the community. That look. Really easy to like accidentally make things not symmetrical if you're locking in too much. Okay. Angle it out just a teeny tiny bit. Okay. Sir, would you like your hair? I can make your hair for you. And also your, like, little cape or whatever. We're gonna do... first. Oopsies. Sorry, I dropped something. It's fine. Izzy, no, don't fall over. Deltarune. Hey there. Because he's kind of got, like, Sonic the Hedgehog looking hair. And I don't want it to necessarily be as long as it is there, but I want it to be, like, here to, like, here. Measuring. Yeah, I wanted to pick a sort of, like, lo-fi jazz kind of deal. Got That's about where the hairline is. Want the longest spike to be about like this. That's about 5.5. Okay. How wide? It doesn't necessarily need to go around a whole lot, but I don't want it to be like completely that. It was like 5.5 long and like 4.5 wide. So, do that. Wide-ish. Long. Yes, if you do the daily check-in, you can get an Ash kiss. Because he, in fact, absolutely, definitely does love all of you, because he's extremely friendly and loves everyone. So if you give him attention, he will be very happy. And that emote, Pupset, is it's a follower emote. So while you're here, you can use it if you want to. Look at this. It really is just kind of Shadow the Hedgehog looking, isn't it? It kind of...
Yay!
Kind of go... I've just met him, buddy. I love him! Yes. Out like so. Is that going to be too big? Like, it looks like it's too big, but I don't think it's big, because it's going to be wrapping around. Let's see. This is the, like, slightly more boring part of stream if we're, like, plotting out patterns, but I don't know. I find it fascinating to actually do, so it's fun to watch. I also came up with a good way of, there tends to be a problem when you use these felt sheets of colors bleeding through when you put them right up against each other. And so I've had in the past, like, wings or whatever that were one color on one side and one color on the other side, and when I felt them to combine them, like, one color's bleeding through, and it looks fine to everybody but me. I'm like, it looks messy, I want to fix that. So I have done a little test, and I am just going to glue it, and it doesn't make it, like, too stiff or anything. And I am only going to do that just because otherwise the color would bleed through. Good. Obviously paper isn't perfect because it doesn't deform the same way, but yeah, I think that'll work. Make absolutely sure. Oh yeah, and then we need the cape as well. Just sort of goes like that. Kind of over the shoulders a little bit. We'll also kind of pull up the ruffle in the future. I can do the ruffle last. Yep, it's, I believe, Moss Deep City. Moss Deep or Lily Cove, it's definitely from Hoenn. A half. So yeah, a little bit less than 2 and then 2.5. If you ever want to know the exact song, usually exclamation point song will tell you, but this is like a compilation playlist. Let me make absolutely sure that going over... It's Pseudopolis City. Okay, so yeah, if you do exclamation point song, it will bring up the YouTube video, and you can see what the actual song is. I'm not sure if I don't think it'll bring you the exact timestamp, but you know, you can figure it out. What was I doing? I was doing this. Okay. I'm gonna have it choose. Long. Yes. About 2 inches wide. Yes. Yeah. But it also kind of goes wider like this. I mean, really, I should pull this in half. Okay. It's absolutely certain that it is the correct. Should I make it longer? Because it kind of drags. It kind of this. Because, like, it's kind of fun on Vivi that his coat drags on the ground. So maybe I'll do that, actually. Get taller. About like that. Even taller. A bit. Yeah, that's fun. I like that. Okay, cool. I was a little worried about that was gonna work, but it seems to be working. Over here. Now. Pull these. Shadow, milk, hair. Shadow, mick. Milk. And these patterns can go in the Ziploc bag with the pure vanilla patterns. Guys, fellas, is it gay to have your patterns in the same Ziploc bag? And we were both boys? I think it's gay. I feel like that has the same has the same feel to it as the like Drawfee Yu-Gi-Oh and they were on the same stone tablet. Like, I feel like that's the vibe. Also, can I possibly, I don't know. I do a lot of like, I'm saving wool, like by trying to like make them in weird like this. I don't actually think a lot. Just do it like this. Just do it like this. It's not that bad. Oh, I like this, like, bossa nova. Oh, from The Sims. Interesting. No, it doesn't grow on trees. It grows on sheep. What's kind of funny, though, that reminded me, there's a mythological creature called the Vegetable Lamb of Tartary, also known as like a Baromet or Baromet, which you can see in Delicious in Dungeon. You can see it in a game called Odin Sphere. There are a couple of things. It's not like super duper popular, but it's really fun because it's a legend of like a sheep that's growing on a long stalk, and it's actually like a plant. It's not a real sheep. And then you realize that this was Northern Europe's interpretation of what cotton was. Because I forget the exact history, but sort of before, I believe, the Norman conquest of part of Italy, didn't have cotton, but they sure had wool. So the idea of like a puff of what looks like wool on a stalk was thought of as being a lamb that was growing on a tree. The sheep stay on the stalk. The picture is kind of funny if you look it up. It is just like this sheep looking very nonplussed, just like sticking up from a plant, like, well, guess I'm up here now. Okay, we're gonna have ads in 5 minutes. If you want to stick around, that would be wonderful. If you want to get up and get a snack and hydrate, do whatever, that is also perfectly fine. I'll be here. I don't tend to talk a whole lot during ads so that people don't miss anything, but you know, luckily you can still see what's going on. I'm bringing you with me to make a snack. Hooray! I'm the gay people in your phone. Or in this case, computer. Make absolutely sure that that's gonna look right. I'm back. Maybe it's the smirk, and maybe that it's I'm extremely Deltarune pilled lately. But he is giving rules card. Just a little bit. No chapters 3 and 4 spoilers. He's just, you know, in chapters 3 and 4, so. Right. There are gay people in all of my devices. Alright, that's good. Yeah, I think that works. I didn't want it to be as long as it actually is. I also had to do some, hey, Cookie Run, hey, what does the back of his head look like? No, not like this part, this part. So I decided that he has black hair back here. I also decided that he has a diamond back here. Sometimes we have to just make things up. I'm also gonna make these, like, little eyes. Probably won't do, like, as many. But that's, okay. Thing I have to remember. The inside of the hair is black, but the inside of the cape is blue. Sometimes saying stuff out loud helps me remember it. I was, like, really intently narrating everything I was doing with this face because this face was really hard. Like, I got it right eventually. Like, I did pretty well, but it's like, oh god, okay. There. Yeah, it can help a lot when your brain is getting scrambled. Especially when you have streamer brain. Like, I only started streaming a month ago. Streamer brain is like poo brain. It's so real. Like, oh god, there's 1,000 things happening and I need to pay attention. And then you're like, literally, what am I doing? This pin just a little bit. I'm not running into it with the scissors. There. Kind of nice about this pre-felt is you don't have to sew it. Some of the pre-felt that I have is more like dense, such as the one on Susie's jacket here, because I was out of this at the time. I hadn't arrived yet, so I did actually have to sew this. Otherwise it wouldn't stay over here. No, everything's falling over. Don't fall over, Susie. I'm begging you. Go. Do these two. Then what we're going to do is, since we don't have pre-felt of this exact color, we're going to make our own. It doesn't look quite as nice, but it does work. And you can do this with wet felting if you need to make a lot of it. But the sort of cheating way is to just make a sheet like this. This can be for one, but I want to get it a little bit more. I don't know. You can go over there. Just a little bit more. Put it down first. Anyway, yes, we are in ads now. This is probably a good time to have ads anyway. To see if there are any like holes in it. That's more important if it's just this layer, but because there's going to be another layer, if it's a little thin in some spots, it's okay. Okay. Want to be on it? Yes. And then you can reuse these scraps as well, just put them back together. Put this down. Generally, you don't want to cut it like this because it's difficult to, like, it tends to leave these kind of ragged edges, but here it's fine. I do enjoy watching you cut the stuff out. Hey, thanks, Chartwitch. Thanks so much for coming. Thank you for the reassurance, Cammy. I'm doing my best. Okay. Ad break is done. Hello, everybody. All I really did was I cut this out. We are going to make little eyes. So, for the eyes, this one uses this lighter blue, and the other one, where it's the black side, uses this color blue. I definitely had, like, several... Like quite a while of staring at the Shadow Milk design and going, bro, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? It's, like, kind of inscrutable. So I'm like, alright, it looks like there are 3 different blues, and we're gonna pull some out and see what's gonna work. Usually for smaller dolls like this, I do have to simplify some stuff. But mostly for this design, I just needed to figure out what the colors were going to be. So, like, for example, we don't have a gradient going on, but that's also not a thing that's always on his design. I think it's mostly just an effect for, like, that specific art of him. So, like, I'll do as many little eyes as, like, makes sense, but I'm not gonna stress over it being the exact amount. Or have them, like, in exactly the same place. Also because the placement of them, according to the art, is just sort of, like, where it looks good on that particular art. What's the best way to do this? It's got kind of a cutout. Wait, this is so good. Thank you so much for coming in, Jenna. Doing my best. Is it a better idea? Sort of just make... Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to make the sort of eye almond shape, and then see if I can, like, either cut out... Maybe cutting it out isn't the play. Maybe the play is to just add more blue on top of it to simulate it being sort of a cutout. Like... And then we pull up the L1. Yeah. That feels smarter than trying to, like, actually have it be true. Yeah. That works. And then I can just sort of, like, make a bunch of these little almond shapes and then add the eyes later. So you see, like, the other side gets a little bit of color bleed through. And luckily that won't be as much of a problem because we have this other side here. And double luckily, this came out a little bit bigger. So once this is glued, I can kind of trim it a bit. That'll work just fine. Okay. So we'll keep this for those parts. Your Shadow Milk, you can hold this. Go do a crime. From what I understand, the relationship between Pure Vanilla and Shadow Milk is that, like, Pure Vanilla Cookie is supposed to be, like, the guardian of the world, and he's full of hope and love and peace, etc., etc. In its current form is giving Monsters Inc. Little bit, yeah. And he has the soul jam of something. Yeah, the cape, for sure. No, the logo. Yeah, it looks like the Monsters Inc. logo. And the color scheme, for sure. And then Shadow Milk comes along, and he's the antithesis of everything that's by the way, I'm not making fun of it. It's just, like, this story is kind of fun to me. Like, I'm excited by how kind of cheesy it is. It makes me happy. Stories like this need to exist. And so it's like, no, you are my antithesis, and I will corrupt you, because there can't be hope and love in the world. I've been hurt, you see. And then Pure Vanilla's like, but what if we were friends instead? And he's like, friends? And then, like, that's kind of how that goes. And I'm like, yeah! So, oh no, that just makes me happy. I was talking to somebody the other day about, like, cheesy things and, like just camp, you know? Hey, we love camp. We're queer. That's what we do. Like, it makes me happy that that kind of thing exists. Lots of, like, animatics of them dancing together to songs from Epic the Musical. And, you know, it's great. It's absolutely great. I was talking about, like, watching Sonic 3, the movie, and I was like, man, I know that this is millennial bait. I understand that they put live and learn in here specifically to get people of my age and my demographic to point at the screen and go, I recognize. However, I am not immune to propaganda, so I did, in fact, point at the screen and go, live and learn, baby! It was great. And, like, Sonic Adventure 2, incredibly cheesy. Like, Shadow, super cheesy, but, like, there's a kernel of, like, something really interesting and, like, well-written occasionally in there. And and yet, like, he's also a silly black and red hedgehog who has guns, you know? Like, it needs to be that silly for it to, you know, and if it, like, affects you, that's great, too. There was they did sort of an update to Sonic Generations, called Sonic X Shadow Generations, which made everybody on the internet laugh. By being like, what was Shadow doing this whole time? And the answer was having Gerald Robotnik and Maria show up through, like, a time portal and being like, no, I can't tell them about their fate. I can't change the timeline. And then he's, like, all sad about it. But, like, Maria actually gets to be a character for once, and it's nice. And, like, it shows that she designed his air shoes because she's also a Robotnik, so, like, she gets to be a genius, and I'm like, great, wonderful, thank you. But, you know, it's also, like, extremely silly, so I'm just glad it exists. Stuff like Shadow Milk and Pure Vanilla being kind of that kind of storytelling is just, it's fun to me. I like it. I don't play the game, actually, just because I can't go to Gotcha Town. I can't go there. My wallet will kill me. You all spend your money however you want. I'm not your dad, but just for me specifically, it's what I want to spend my money on. But I do love all the designs, and they have some, like, really fun character designs. That look all right. Yeah, about right. Doesn't have to be perfect. Already said it didn't have to be perfect, and now I need to listen to myself. Where I went. When Gotcha Town tries to come for me. No. No, stop. Oh, I got groceries to buy, man. I had a delightful time in 2016 with Pokemon Go. I spent about $100 on it. It was great because I, like, lived in Boston at the time, and it was a whole big thing for everybody. But then after that, I was like, after this, I must never gotcha again. And I've never gotcha'd again, so good for me for upholding that, I guess. Hopefully we can finish... We should be able to finish, probably everything but his staff I may, like, do his staff on, like, Monday and then start something else. Not exactly sure how much time it was going to take. I think you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you, Iden Rains. Thank you for coming in. And this will be up on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, like next week maybe. When I do a sped up version of it, with like little notes, and then that can be I will have put this guy up in the store. Because this has not been commissioned by anybody. I just made it because I thought it would be popular. So if you want this Shadow Milk, when I put it up in the store, ready to be purchased, and you can have this exact one. Otherwise, I do made to order stuff. So most of my things are made to order. Also, Susie, did my... I'm sorry, my capture... No, it didn't freeze. Hey, capture? Hey, capture. Hey, you can do it. Oh. Not like this. Okay. Thank you. It saw me suffering and went, my bad. I'll fix myself. And I'm like, thank you, capture. I appreciate you. Dog cam still working? Yes. Sometimes that freezes. Looking into ways to make my capture not do that. When you got a 2-camera setup, it's and like, you know, 4 programs open, and you just have a laptop, kind of have what happens. Right, so going to now glue this, because again, just felting it would work, but it would leave impressions on the other side of the color, and that looks a little sloppy to me. So, E6000 glue. That's what I use. It, you know, I'm sure any glue would work just fine. I put it not so close to the edges, just because when I did the test, I made it too close to the edges and it sort of seeped out a bit, so not do that. Probably have to apply some, like, the very edges. When the glue goes sploot, like our friend, non-canonical sploot. Probably heard their name and went, what? You need me for something? That. There. I am in all things gluey. Yes, indeed. And then... yeah, looks alright. Got that. I probably will felt, like, just along the edges here to sort of seal it. Lightly. Yeah, if I do it lightly enough, it doesn't really stick out on the other. As a reminder, we are raising money for Glisten Cincinnati, who helps queer kids in public schools, teacher training, and lots of stuff. So if you feel so inclined, you may donate through the donation link there. If not, that is also perfectly fine. I will be making up the difference, so whatever does not get raised at the end of this stream, make sure that they get $100. Yeah, so, do you see a little bit here? That would be a lot worse if I hadn't glued it. And I'm still gonna, like, trim this just a little bit. Yeah, not too much. This is what I mean about, like, I end up sort of making up techniques. It's not that complicated, but it took some doing to figure out, like, oh, okay, if you have pre-felt of two different colors like this, it makes more sense to glue it. Okay. Don't drop it. Okay. Oh, I'm covering up his lovingly sculpted buttocks. That's okay, bud. We know you're caked up on the inside. It's not the cake that's on the outside that counts. The cake, your heart. What does that mean? Don't worry about it, it's fine. Sounded profound, therefore it is profound. This reminds me of the Dexter's Laboratory. It's not the beard on the outside, it's the beard on the inside. Like, yeah, man. You got it. I'm felting this down just a little bit more. I'll, like, where it would sit along his back. So, like, you can still see the sort of part that drags along the ground a little bit. Yeah. Looks pretty nice, actually. Let's do these little blocks here before I forget about them. Actually use the scraps from this, because I just normally with hair I do just kind of keep it this and make it look like more natural hair, but because he's got this, you know, sonic wave thing, we're just gonna make his, like, all of his hair look sculpted so that it there. And normally when I'm doing sculpted pieces like this, I have the polyfill in between it, but, like, because this is such a small piece, it's not really necessary. And it also would lead to, because it's a very thin piece, the polyfill poking through. Similar to the problem that I described with the cape. Okay. This is why I wear little finger protectors, because I can hold stuff in my hands like this, and that. Worry about it. that out just a Yeah, there are like other tools and stuff that you can use to do stuff like this. Mostly just like little plastic like hold between your fingers. Or to be like but I want the shape to be right. Lay correctly. It also just seems like a practical safety measure, so you're not destroying your fingers if you slip. Yeah. Like, I got anxiety, bro. Like, I can't be doing that. Be letting God decide. Oh, man. I'm not, like, doing a call-out post of everybody who doesn't wear these. I'm just saying, for me, it makes me too nervous not to. Before y'all run over to Cozy Witch and be like, mouth said! No. I think they should do whatever they want. Actually, just give a shout out to Cozy Witch while we're here. There we go. So the people in the crafting community probably already know of them. People in my community and anybody else who's just sort of stopping by. I would love to know more needle felters on Twitch, but at the moment, I know of two, me and Cozy Witch. And they're a very like cozy, sweet, incredibly British streamer who streams on weekends. They streamed earlier today. Make a lot of really cute things. They were making like a pride Mothman. They were making a cute little like flower with a bee butt coming out of it, like it was being pollinated. Just really nice, like sort of I want to have a chill, calm voice and some nice vibes going on kind of stream. Certainly not a needle felter. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and I know like Practical Portia has done some of it. Yeah, everybody should needle felt more. Please join us. Of people who primarily do that, I only know. Yes, do it. There is, if you ever want to get started, I have exclamation point kit. That is the kit that I started with, and it has a lot of really good like little tutorials in it, or otherwise just like things for getting started, and you can kind of do whatever you want with it. I know of a 2D needle felter. She felts on crocheted projects. They're 3D images. Yeah, so you can also do, like I do mostly dolls, but you can do like felt painting, it's called. It's not really painting, but it's like making a like a flat piece, and then you kind of build up on top of it. Like if you're doing, you know, a tree, you're sort of building up the felt on there. So it's a little bit it's kind of like a relief a little bit. And like that's really fun as well. And you can do like all kinds of really pretty blending and things like that. Do whatever speaks to you, you know? My mod doesn't stream, but she needle felts. Not 2.5D, 2.4D. you don't get that extra tenth of a dimension, buddy. You haven't earned it yet. This one is this color. Okay. These ones kind of go... Because these ones... The ones on the cape... Trying to decide if this is, like, just a thing that the art is doing. Let me look at the other reference that I have. Okay, no, it does look like the ones on the hair are, like, vertical. Okay. Ceramic 3D paintings, realistic pet portraits and animals. Yeah, you can get very realistic with it. Some people do, like, really amazing... Like, it looks almost like... I mean, taxidermy is not a great way to put it, but, like, it just kind of looks like a shrunken down, extremely realistic version of a pet. And I do, like, posable pet ornaments and stuff, if you ever want something like that. Custom pet stuff, but mine are somewhat cartoonified. The, like, really, really realistic kind, that takes, like, dozens and dozens of hours. And it's really impressive. Probably make these like a little bit bigger. You can do all kinds of stuff with needle felting. My niche is sort of this kind of cartoony style. A lot of people do animals. Because, you know, you can get really nice fur textures with wool, because it's wool. Literally is from an animal, so it maps onto fur very, very well. Some people, the style that I do tends to look a little bit fuzzier, but you can also do it where you really, really carefully get, Did I put this upside down? I don't think I did. Did I put this one upside down? I feel like I put this one upside down. Upside down, right side up, because it's actually right side up, but the supposed to be upside down. Your vanilla's is the opposite. Luckily, I did just felt it on. I didn't glue it on. I didn't do the like little curly cues just because they were gonna not really work very well with this texture of felt. Gonna look like weird little wisps. And, well, I put you. You should go here. You look like a 1700s lawyer. You look like you're about to sign the Declaration of Independence. The ruffled collar and the no hair yet. No, I'm evil. I'm like, yeah, I know, buddy. You sure are. Good for you. Okay, we'll just kind of do them kind of angled like this. Try to make them a size. My absolute best. Back. Black wool here. Okay. One problem with using the pre-felt sheets is that you can run into trouble when you don't. Yeah, you're doing great at it, champ. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, one of the problems you can run into is if the pre-felt sheet and the like other wool that you're using don't match, but they're like in the context of the doll supposed to be the same material. So if that happens, like if this black was sort of a different shade of black, which, you know, usually it's not, but you could sort of tear this apart and it would be fine. You could use that, but that's also not like super sustainable. That's part of why I sort of made my own sheet with this because none of the other pre-felt sheets that I had that were blue were even close to the right color. Yeah, and if you're enjoying the stream, click the follow button. I stream usually Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. There is a dog, there is felting, there is a queer weirdo sitting here doing it all. It's great fun. And if you subscribe, I have watercolor emotes! Because I am horrifically bad at digital art. So instead, I actually paint all of my emotes and then scan them in and then use that. What you doing, Cammy? When I have more money, I want to commission a frog from you because my current yoga frog is falling apart and just glued at the joints. Yoga frog! That's so cute. Here, I will pull that up on stream. As we've established, I'm a real streamer. There we go. Yep. That's so cute! I love it! Yeah, and I can make that. And Cozy Witch also makes stuff like that. Yeah, that's very cute. I have made a frog before. I made a Jimmy Heathcliff, which is a frog from a comic called Heathcliff that our community got kind of obsessed with for a little while. And somebody commissioned it for sort of the main person who was obsessed with it. And I sent it to him. And I also put a big butt on him. I don't have the Jimmy Ham's BTTV. I should get that. Plenty of slots. I certainly could. So, question mark? Decide how I want to do this. A Firefox so I could use BTTV finally. I use Chrome and it works, but up to you. And I know Chrome is objectively worse. I just, you know, force of habit. I don't want to change all my bookmarks. I don't want to get used to using something new. Oh. I was gonna say I think we finally ran out of the extra blue, but we did not. We have a little bit, but it's got the one of the light blue in it, so we got that out. And it's not like imperative that you use absolutely all of the wool that you have. Just for me, because I use a lot of wool and because I buy a lot of wool, it's a good like practice to keep going with, so that I'm not wasting too much. I moved away from Chrome to DuckDuckGo, but Firefox lets you use which search engine? Yeah, I think DuckDuckGo still has some of the same problems with AI that Google does. I've not looked into it too much, but it's been like, oh, DuckDuckGo also has a lot of those like AI answers, and it's like, hate that. Just use Google. Lets you turn it off. Well, that's helpful. I have a Chrome extension called Hide Google AI Overviews, and it doesn't always work, but it works most of the time. Never, thank you. It also, yes, that's also a thing that yeah, if you swear, that is a thing. It'll turn off AI summaries. I want my information to be accurate, man. Probably don't need to put any up here because this is basically where like the hairline is. Yeah, sticking swearing is more fun. Oh, are you asleep? He's snoring. Snores very loudly for such a little dog. Coming through a lot on the other side, but see? Put something else on top of it and it's fine. We're putting on an angle here, I think. Works pretty well. One more down here probably, and that's good. Bigger. Angle too. What's nice about recording all of this, is that sometimes if I make something again, I'm like, how did I do that? Like, how did I do that the first time? So I will go back and watch my own videos to be like, hang on, how did I do that? Reminds me of like creators going to the fan wiki of the thing that they made to be like, what was this plot point again? I know like the Homestar Runner creators have done that for the Homestar Runner wiki, which I used to be a big part of back in the day. I was a very big contributor to the Homestar Runner wiki when I was like 15. My first online community. An IRC chat. Bunch of people. There. Here. You go here. This. Them extensively. I haven't contributed to a wiki since I was like a kid, but they are very useful. Bear a thought for the brave men, women, and NBs who contribute to wikis. Truly the backbone of our society. I would confuse 07 if I had it, but for now I simply 07. I have an emote for subscribers called WireMouse7. A lot of my emotes are just things that I wanted to exist because I didn't have them, and as a long time like Twitch chat member but not streamer, I've been like, I want to have this emote but it doesn't exist. So whenever you feel like there's something, you know, flies off the screen or something like that, or you're just confused about it, WireMouse7, there for you. It's a really good way to decide what emotes to make. Yeah, I also have Speak on That, which can go with such emotes as Bar Squeent. When you need streamer to elaborate on the out-of-pocket thing they just said. Yes, and feeling it, which is a follower emote because it's like my favorite emote. I make that expression in real life a lot, where like completely blank face, thumbs up. Like, how are you feeling? Well, I'm feeling it. Seven has such a good expression. Thank you. Everybody's enjoying the stream. We got about 13 minutes left before we're gonna go over to our last stop on the raid train. White Cat. And we'll probably be able to finish his hair, and we will. Yeah, then I can just pull Scepter tomorrow, probably. I don't know if I can... We'll just do our best. We may not be able to... Exactly on. My stuff takes longer than 2 hours, so I was like, what should I make? You know, what should I make for this raid train stream? I just tried to do something that would be interesting from beginning. Generally, one of these takes like 5-ish hours to complete. All ones, 5 or 6. Some of the bigger ones can take like 8 or 9 hours. I work kind of fast, so it's something that you don't necessarily need to go at that pace. About that size. Oh, hell yeah. We got to Ace Attorney eventually. Can't have a jazz compilation without the fragrance of dark coffee. I'll let you know when they're ready to welcome us. Okay. Thank you so much, June. Trying to do this like relatively quickly. I'm gonna get an RSI, it's gonna be from this. Sorry, that's a stupid joke. I'm not gonna get an RSI, I'll be fine. Oh, thank you, Sploot. Thank you for contributing to Glisten Cincinnati. Gonna help a lot of kids, especially in our current climate where a lot of things are being cut. Anybody else would like to contribute to that on your way out, you feel free to. If not, that's also perfectly fine. Thank you so much for hanging out. If this was your first stream with me, thank you for hanging out with me. And if you've been here before, then also thank you for hanging out with me. I know, and thank you, Ash, for being here and being cute. Little bit of you want to try to fill this in. If it's just a little bit, you can kind of card it by just doing this by hand. It's not that big of a deal. Works. I think I am going to actually pin this just because it's bigger. Kind of get away with just holding the other one. Yeah, absolutely sure. This just looks like a monster by itself. Like something you would find in an indie RPG. This comes up to you. What do you do? Back to Shadowmilk, because that's his hair. Such a cool process. Thank you. Glad y'all are enjoying it. I'm gonna miss those ads. We don't need them. Oh. A big snore, honey. And then it would just say something perfectly normal, and it's your normal neighbor but turned into an eye creature. Yeah, that's called the game Look Outside. Which you all should, well, not all necessarily, because it's got a lot of body horror in it, but it's a very good video game that is set in Canada. And it's about being in an apartment when the apocalypse is happening and everybody's turning into terrifying monsters. But if you're a nice person about it, maybe you can get out of it all right. And maybe everybody who looks scary isn't necessarily scary. Yes, I know, Cammy and also Doom are our big Canadian friends. Yeah. Not necessarily for you if you aren't okay with some sort of, like, horror imagery, but it's a very good game. And the music rips. It sounds like a lot of sort of like 80s synth slasher movies. The Tooth Baby. That's not even the worst one. Like, not even by a little bit. Oh, poor Secret Sleepover Society viewers. They knew not what they had wrought. There is, however, a monster car that plays a really kick-ass song, and if you don't defeat it in time, drives you straight to actual hell. It's great. All right, next host is ready. All right, let's not exactly all the way done, but this is what it's going to look like. And it is done. He'll have his hair here. Got a little bit more like white streaks and stuff. And he's gonna look like our adorable little Shadow Milk. So yeah, let's get ready for that. I still have Yoga Frog pulled up. There we go. Okay. We are going to work on, okay, sorry. We're gonna raid Blue-Eyed Cat 81. It looks like they are, like, embroidering or cross-stitching or something. Like a really cool D&D-esque kind of dragon. That looks awesome. All right. And they're raising money for the Trevor Project, if you would like to contribute to that. Cross-stitching, yep. I did some cross-stitching when I was a kid. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming. And if you would like to come see me again, I'll be live tomorrow. So yeah. See ya.